Nazanin Mashiri is in Sidi Bouzid. Nazanin, what's the situation there?
Well, of course, a lot of the people who are leaving are going from Libyan shores. That's because that is where they are able to get on those smuggler boats, pay around $1,500 for the treacherous journey across these seas. And the Tunisians are suffering a lot from this. They are saving around hundreds of people who are being brought here to Tunisia, but also they found many people whose bodies have been washed up in recent days. But joining me now is Steve Kayizzi-Mugerwa, who is the acting chief economist at the African Development Bank based here in Tunis. Steve, let's talk about this from an economic perspective. Is there anything that European countries should and could be doing to stop this flow?
Thank you so much. Thank you. Maybe I should begin by saying that the African Development Bank is in the process of moving back to its headquarters in Abidjan. I really appreciate this opportunity to say something to you in Jazeera, because I believe we should put the issue and the challenge in context. First of all, of course, there is a lot of migration, the tragedy is happening, but imagine that Africa is a net importer of migrants. And imagine also the people in the countries. Just recently, last week, I read that 250,000 people have just moved from South Sudan to Ethiopia. These are poor countries, and they take it. So the context is very, very important. And also, think about proximity. Europe is very close to Africa. You could even say that Africa is a near abroad of Europe, if you want. And this Tunisia and Libya used to be provinces, Roman provinces. So it's that close. And so this movement is probably should not be that surprising to us.
But a lot of these young people are unemployed. Some of them are illiterate. We're talking about young Africans from Eritrea, Somalia, desperate enough to risk their lives so many times to get to Europe. Is there something that Europe should be doing, investing to try to stop this, or is it just going to be the way it is? It's just going to continue?
I agree there is a humanitarian crisis which must be handled. But as I said in the beginning, you might put it in a broader context. And the context is such that Africa could be seen as a European opportunity. They are young men, okay, in this case maybe not terribly educated, but there are many things they can do. One thing they have as an asset, a big asset, is their youth and their strength. Nobody can cross the Sahara and come to these countries without being strong and strong-willed. And as we say, hope never dies. So these are very strong people. They could actually contribute. When you look at it in the broader context of the demographic challenges in Europe, here are people that are ready. We could do training. Have we done those kind of things? But also going back to the broader context, have we tried to help in African agriculture, to reduce the non-tariff barriers and so on? Maybe we haven't.
Steve, thank you so much for joining us here on this Tunisian beach. Of course, we know where these migrants and asylum seekers are heading. They're trying to get to Europe, and their first port of call often is Catania in Sicily, where my colleague Hoda Abdelhamid is reporting from.